Here we go, episode 172 of the Hardline. Michael Merlo, John Michael Masiri, here with you. A crazy, crazy week in the world of sports, and it is going to be another doozy this weekend. Lots to get to: NBA, college football, and of course, the NFL. We'll save the MLB hot stove stuff for a little bit later. Some stuff cooking a little bit. Mets made a couple of signings, couple of trading since we've been on here, but nothing real big. We'll have those out, though, when the moves start being made. JM, last time we did this, you were bitching about me not asking how you were doing. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thank you for asking me. In the Christmas spirit, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a big, like, do not celebrate Christmas before Thanksgiving guy. Or even before the end of November guy. Right, then the Advent kicks in, and then we're in Christmas territory, and then I'm balls to the wall. So I'm balls to the wall right now. We're at work today, listening to holiday music. I'm in charge in the house of the counting down the days till Christmas. It's one of the things I look forward to in the morning. Just really holly jolly spirit I got going right now.
You look forward. I have so many issues with this. First of all,
okay,
you look forward to counting down the days each morning until Christmas.
Yes.
Correct? You look forward to that. You think about it
it's
when
actually
you wake
the
up.
highlight of my morning, I would say. Yes.
Okay, that's issue number one. Number two,
okay,
don't tell me when I can start celebrating Christmas, when I want to start getting excited for Christmas.
Sure.
Don't tell me when I can
why
do
don't you just start listening to Christmas music at 4th of July? Let's just keep stretching the boundary. Let's just keep going.
No, but this was different this year for some reason. I usually start beginning of November, the Christmas music. I only started last week with the Michael Bublé Christmas album.
Sure. It's just like, that's ridiculous. Going before Thanksgiving is nuts.
Thanksgiving, the most overrated holiday in the world.
It's the vibe, man. The tree, like, you put the tree up after Thanksgiving, right? December 1st or November 30th, you put the tree up. You got the lights outside. You start putting the music on. You ramp up. It's like, all right, we're in Christmas time now.
I want to ramp up earlier. That's what I want to do.
That's not what the Advent says.
Well,
fraud.
Well, you're going to tell all I want to say right now is I don't care. You're going to tell me to disrespect my religion right now.
Yep.
You're making me disrespect my religion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do.
I think you're doing it yourself.
I'm pumped for Christmas.
This isn't very Christmas spirit of you, by the way. I've been in very, very good mood. And I don't confront people around Christmas time, so I'd like to lighten the mood.
Oh, you don't confront people around Christmas?
No, I don't.
So I should expect you for the next 3 weeks to not confront me on anything. You're just going to be the most holly jolly being in the world.
I will be very even-keeled on this show. Nothing. You will not hear me raise my voice or even show any emotion for that fact.
Well, that's
except happiness.
No emotion. Okay, I was going to say no emotion is not in the Christmas spirit.
Just happiness.
Okay, well. Maybe
what do we got on the agenda today, Ebenezer?
Maybe you don't. I'm not the Grinch here. I love Christmas. I'm
First of all,
Christmas guy of all time.
Ebenezer Scrooge, not the Grinch.
I don't care.
Okay.
Either way,
but I'm doing good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, doing good.
All right. Lots to get to. We're going to start the NBA. Giannis may want out, although about an hour ago, he slipped on the court. They're saying a calf injury. It was non-contact, didn't look good. But Giannis wants out. There was some discussion in the offseason, Jam, about this. The Knicks had an opportunity. They were the only team the Bucks talked to during this time in August, and obviously nothing came of it. They say it'll be different this time around, though. If Giannis does officially ask for a trade, other teams are going to get involved, but the Knicks feel like the favorite. Giannis wants to play here. As a Knicks fan, are you pumped?
I am pumped. Immediately you start thinking, all right, well, what are we going to give up, right? Like, it's not just, you get Giannis and you trade a couple scrubs. Like, obviously the Knicks are not exactly in the position they were when they traded for Mikal Bridges, where they have all these first-round picks they can give up. So the draft picks, they don't have the best capital in the world. Now you have to start looking at the roster, and listen, anybody besides Jalen Brunson here is on the table. If we've learned anything about Leon Rose and this regime recently, between trading Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, trading Emmanuel quickly and RJ Barrett. Like, they are not afraid to trade whoever, wherever. Like, they when they have the time to improve the roster, they're going to improve the roster. So, Mike, it's going to be tough. The way the salaries match up, right? You're going to have to give up probably Cat or OG Anunoby. Cat seems like the most likely candidate. At the same time, you have to sell to the Bucks that Cat makes sense for them. And you're going to have to give some draft picks along with maybe even, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. I don't know how I can't see the Knicks trading Mikal and Cat for him, but
Right.
some bench pieces, Miles McBride, Mitch Robb, there's a couple ways they could go about it, but it's an exciting time to be a Knicks fan. I mean, this is crazy.
So Towns, obviously, let's just kind of just put a Sharpie in that, where he would be being sent over to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Would Anunoby also be in the deal, or would it be one or the other, then picks, then other players? And is that worth it for the Knicks if it did involve both of them?
I think trading Cat and OG it's not worth it for the Knicks, to be honest with you. I mean, you take out literally the second and third, if not fourth best player on your team by doing that. I mean, OG is so Knicks fans could argue that OG Anunoby is the second most important player on this team. I know he's been hurt for a little while and the Knicks have still been performing, but the plus minus numbers back that up. Like, he is essential to that team. You could also argue that about Mitch Robb. I mean, his plus minus numbers are crazy, but no, I don't think it's going to have to take both of them. I think it will have to be Miles McBride along with Cat, and then maybe also Mitch Robb in that. But now you're talking, you don't have a center. You just traded your two big men.
Yeah.
So obviously this is great, cool. Giannis wants to come to the Knicks, but this isn't some easy trade the way they match up. It's going to have to, I think, take some creativity, and one side is going to have to kind of bite the bullet, I think.
Especially if he asks out, right? If he asks out and says, this is the only destination I want to go to, I want to play at MSG, I want to play for the Knicks, then the Knicks obviously have the upper hand, and it would be the Bucks biting that bullet. He's also up for a contract next year. He could sign the Supermax, 4 years, $275 million after this season with the Bucks. And if he's traded, he could sign that same deal, but just has to wait 6 months for that. So obviously still going to get his money, just doesn't know where it's going to be. He's still, I mean, even at age 31, like, he's been an elite player for such a long time now. At age 31 this season, he missed a few games earlier in the year, 30 points a game, only 30 minutes, by the way, averaging 30 minutes played.
Yeah, he's insane. The thing to me that's a little odd about this Giannis situation is usually a player of his age, of his status, and of the contract that he has a no trade clause, or at least a limited no trade clause. He does not have a no trade clause. So if he did have a no trade clause, that would be a major advantage for the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
He could essentially veto the other 28 teams he could be traded to, and then the 29th team being the Knicks, he would just say, "Yep, sign me up." He doesn't have that freedom. I mean, obviously, you could get into more deep. You play other games. You could say to the team that is going to trade for him, I'm not going to show up to practice. I don't know how bad he wants to be a Knick. It does seem like that's where he wants to go. But yeah, I'm shocked that he doesn't have the no trade clause. And like I said, it's going to take, I'm glad I'm not in these positions to look at salary cap and understand, obviously pick protections could get complicated, just all this crazy stuff that goes on in the NBA. I'm lucky I don't have to do that. What I do know is that this is going to be a game of cat and mouse. Like, this is not going to be a week from now, Giannis Antetokounmpo is traded to the Knicks.
It's also like very weird because the report you get today is that Giannis and his agent are going to start to discuss what the future looks like. And when you read the reports from what happened earlier, in the summer, where he thought about wanting to be traded and it would be the Knicks, Giannis kind of agreed, like, okay, I feel like we could win with this team. Let's see how it goes through the first 25 games of the year. And the Bucks kind of took that as like, all right, he's committed to winning. And that's what Doc Rivers said. But I don't know. I don't get the sense that if he's going to wait to see what it looks like through 25 games of the year and then make another decision on whether or not this is the right place for him, it kind of just seems like he wants out.
Yeah,
And I get it.
yeah, that's what somebody says. If he actually truly believed that, he wouldn't have said it like that. He would have just came out and said, "Nope, I'm a Milwaukee Buck. I believe in this team. I think we're going to be able to win this year." Blah 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 blah. He wouldn't say, "Well, yeah, I think we have a good enough team. We'll see how it goes, though." I mean, that's what you say. Like when you're on the rocks with your girlfriend, you're like, "Yeah, she's crazy, but I'm going to take her to a movie and maybe she'll act all right and it'll everything."
You cut out. You cut out. You cut out. No, I still can't hear you. No, but I'll say this. It feels like there we go. I hear something.
Good.
Yeah, they're like very honest. Like they're almost too honest with each other.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
Yeah, like let's see how this goes. I think I want to leave, but let's see how it goes, and let's see how the first 25 games go, and then we'll have another discussion.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a Bucks fan, I don't want to hear this.
No.
Like, if have these conversations in private. If you want to go. Let's not drag this along here.
Right. Well, that's the thing is right now, this report came out and nobody was shocked by this report, right? We've been hearing about Giannis to the Knicks for over a year now, but especially this summer really picked up steam. So it could get a little ugly, as it goes on here. If the sides can't come to an agreement, maybe, Giannis starts putting pressure on the Bucks, like what's going on. And then all of a sudden, we know how this has gone in the past across all sports when superstars want out. But for right now, there's plenty of time. It's not like the trade deadline's in a couple weeks. It's not for another 2+ months. So the Knicks and the Bucks have plenty of time to figure stuff out. I do think this is a move you have to make as the Knicks, though. As long as the what you give up isn't insane and you're gutting your team, the Knicks they feel like we've seen teams, we've seen it in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills and with the Baltimore Ravens, and we see it across all sports. The Yankees are going through this for the past decade plus, where they're these elite teams, but something's just missing. Like you don't get they could look unbelievable, the best team in the league, but they just can't get over the hump. And this Knicks Brunson era hasn't been long enough to have that stamp put on it, but it does kind of feel when you watch them in the regular season and the way the playoffs have gone recently, it just feels like they've got a really good team and they can achieve some really good things, but can they actually win the championship? I don't think any Knicks fan can confidently look you in the eyes and say, yes, we are a finals contender and a finals favorite. Getting Giannis Antetokounmpo and shaking up this core with Cat, which I don't know if it's the best fit in the world. Cat's a great player, but I don't know if it's the best fit in the world. Getting Giannis makes you that finals favorite in the East, at least. The Thunder, different conversation we'll talk about a little later.
The Bucks not having a great year. 9-13, lost a lot of games while he was there, while he was gone. And then when he came back, they were still losing some games there. So they are very efficient, one of the best teams in the NBA. When he's on the floor offensively, when he's off the floor, they're one of the worst. And that's partly the issue over there in Milwaukee.
Well, that's what's going to make, why Giannis would be such a dream for the Knicks, and especially with this Mike Brown offense, is the Knicks have definitely emphasized shooting the three this year, and they've gotten better at shooting the three this year. Obviously, if you can have Cat and Giannis together, for what I'm about to say, it would be even better. But one thing that Giannis does so well is he draws so much attention, and it leaves these three-point shooters open around the perimeter. So him coming in immediately, getting Brunson open looks, getting Deuce open looks, getting Mikal Bridges open looks, OG, the list goes on, Clarkson, would be huge for their offense, along with the fact that you have two guys on your offense in Jalen Brunson and Giannis, who you could literally just give the ball to, and they can get a bucket on their own. They would be an elite team with Giannis.
Let me ask you this question, completely off topic. Are you good with Bridges or not really? Has the trade been worth it? They just paid him.
Focus.
Has it been worth it?
I hate technology. Hold on. Did I focus?
Not yet, but you can speak.
Okay. So how do I feel about Bridges? No, I definitely I feel good about Bridges. I mean, he played an unbelievable game against the Celtics on, what was it? Today's Wednesday, so Tuesday night. Maybe his best game as a Knick, at least a top 5 game as a Knick. I think the fit is there. He's playing a lot better this year, especially defensively. Yeah, I think he fits well with the team. I just think the Knicks are in a position right now where, especially with Cat, like, I don't want to say that there's too many guys that want to score the ball. It's not necessarily like they're, dominating the ball. Like I said before, when I was making the comparisons to the Bills, Ravens, Yankees, whatever, it just like something feels off. It just feels like the core, like they can't really get better. They can't add anybody else into the starting lineup to make the team better. It just feels like fundamentally maybe something is a little bit off. And I do think it kind of has to do with Cat, because Cat is a better performer than Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. And when he came over here, did a lot of change happen with the team's success specifically? I mean, they went one round further, but I think we can agree that in 2023, if the Knicks would have stayed healthy, they probably would have went to the conference finals, if not the finals. They probably wouldn't have made it to the finals, but they would have gotten really close. So, I don't know. I just feel like Cat is a great player. I love having him as a Knick. He's a great guy and everything, but I just feel like it hasn't really moved the needle to push them to that next level. I think Giannis does.
Giannis does. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a while.
All right, I can't reach for my water bottle. That's the thing. So I have my water bottle on the ground because it's gigantic.
Yeah, no, we see.
When I reach for it, I go out of frame and then I lose focus.
You should see this thing in person. It's massive.
Head next to the head comparison.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't do it justice.
Look, I'm behind. I'm at like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m.
Get chugging. Get chugging. Let's talk about this Thunder team, because as somebody that's not fully in the loop in the NBA the last couple of days, I have taken a look at this record. They're 21-1.
Yeah.
Like 74-8 is not this pipe dream. It's possible. And some would even say likely at this point that they are going to go down as the greatest regular season team in NBA history. Yeah. 73-9 is within reach. And the scariest part about this team is that they just won the NBA Finals the season ago. And they're obviously the clear favorites to win it this season. But there's no end in sight for this team. There is no end in sight because of the draft picks and how young these guys are. This team is going to run the NBA for years. You're going to be rooting for your team. If you root for an Eastern Conference team, you should almost thank your lucky stars you just got to the NBA Finals, and then that could be your championship, because that's how good this team could possibly be for so long.
Yeah, they're insane, and they haven't had Jalen Williams for 21 of those or 20 of those 22 games that they've played. So, yeah, they've been absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you look at any stat in the NBA, like they're number 1 in defensive rating as a team, they're number 5 in offensive rating. They're just completely dominant. And it's the way the Warriors went, right? They win the finals, their first ring. Then the second year they come out and they go 73-9. They end up losing the finals that year, obviously in that infamous comeback that the Cavs had. But it's the same path that the Thunder are on, coming off of their first championship with this core. Mike, it's definitely scary. I was saying before, this is literally the greatest rebuild, I think, of all time in any sport. Like there have been some really good rebuilds. But, the Paul George trade is just like going to be like, there's going to be videos about that for decades, centuries, about how lopsided that was. I mean, you get SGA back and you get all those picks that you turn into these core players that are so important to your team. They're disgusting. And the scary part about it is they have 4 first-round picks this year. They are on track. If you go on Tankathon right now, they, I believe, have the 9th pick, the 14th pick, their own pick, and then like a pick in the 20. Like they have 4 first-round picks, and like it's not just joke like end of the first round picks. Like it is legitimate first-round pick. So actually, this it's terrifying. This core is not really going anywhere either. Like they're not losing anybody major soon. It's not like they're in cap hell either. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, let's just talk about breaking the record. If you look at their schedule, yeah, sure, they haven't played a lot of competition yet. Their schedule is going to get harder. But if we sit here, 10 games from now with some tougher opponents and they've lost one more game, yeah, we could keep having this conversation.
I can't believe we're having conversations about NBA schedules. I mean, it's early in the year, but like we're talking about strength of schedule in the NBA because there's a team that only has one loss and the season started in October.
Yeah.
And could you imagine rooting for a team like this? Like in any sport, like being a Patriots fan right now, you haven't lost in September, or the season started in October and your team's lost one game.
Insane.
Like you expect to win. Like, yeah, most teams expect to win every night, but like Thunder fans must think like every time their team touches the floor, they're going to win the game.
Yeah, like, okay, we're going to win today. Yep, no problem. Just mark a win down. And their only losses to the Portland Trailblazers.
Nice.
I are not good. Who are actually their record is 8-13.
That's good.
I will say the one thing about the NBA, I think the NBA has a lot of core issues. I like watching the Knicks. The overall NBA, I think, is just, it's a player-driven league. It's always been a player-driven league. I like to watch the players, but I think just the regular season has its issues, and, there's been a lot of questioning about effort of play and just the style of play that is today, and it's all valid. But on a positive note, I do really enjoy like the parity in the NBA now. The fact that right now the 1 seed in the East is the Detroit Pistons, the 2 seed is the Raptors, and the 3 seed is the Heat. Like none of those teams, the Pistons had a good year last year, but the Raptors were terrible last year. The Heat, I think, were a play-in team and lost the play-in, or they maybe snuck in and got bounced out in the first round. Like there's a lot of parity in the NBA, and it's cool to watch. It's just the Thunder are slowly becoming the Warriors now, and that's a little bit of a boomerang, or I should say.
Their average point differential is 15.3. The next closest team is the Rockets at 10.6.
Yeah.
And no team in the Eastern Conference has a average point differential over 7, by the way. The Knicks lead it with 6.9.
Yeah. And they're killing everybody.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
That is
and SGA, I mean, he's had his criticisms, the jokes calling him FTA, right? And like, yeah, there's sometimes when you watch that guy, it is very unethical. But putting that all aside, he is like amazing. I mean, the efficiency and the success that this guy has had, I mean, if he keeps this up, he's going to throw his name into some of the greatest point guards to ever play the game territory.
You were having a conversation earlier this week about, or somebody brought the conversation up about, is he more dominant than
Kobe? Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes. Kobe obviously has the unbelievable accolades, the rings, and all that stuff. And, in my opinion, I think when I ranked top players of all time, I had Kobe like 11 or something like that.
Disrespectful.
No. But yeah, I think first of all, Kobe never won an MVP, right? I think right? I don't think he ever won an MVP, did he?
I'll check right now, but
as I said that, I was like, wait a minute, maybe he did win an MVP.
No, he never won an MVP. No, he did one. He won one.
What year did he win MVP?
2007 and 8.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So he has one MVP. But I think when you look at the defensive prowess that Shea has, and before people come at me, look up the stats. Kobe is an overrated defender. Like advanced stats, not the simple stats, the advanced stats. Kobe was not a great defender. But I've never saw Kobe putting up with what Shea is doing. Like this guy has scored 20 plus points in 93 consecutive games. I mean, that is genuinely absurd. And I just think the overall body of work, offensively, defensively, playmaker, scoring, everything. Yeah, I think Shea's peak is better than Kobe's peak. He's not an all-time better player yet, but if we're talking peaks, I think at his peak he is better than Kobe Bryant.
Can we have a quick sidebar conversation? Maybe you can answer this question. Why didn't Kobe win the MVP in 2005?
Is that the year that Steve Nash won it?
Yes.
Yeah, Steve Nash. I don't know what he was doing, but he had some crazy MVPs. I think he had 2, right?
I'll check. And then, like, he didn't even finish. He averaged 35 points per game that year, and he didn't even finish second or third. He finished 4th behind LeBron and Dirk that year.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but
maybe somebody can get me an answer on that. Nash won 2.
Steve Nash did win 2, which is
he won 2 MVPs.
I think they just loved a facilitator. I think they were like, this guy's got so many assists, give him the MVP.
The one random. They also like throwing the random MVP out there.
Yeah.
What about Jokic though? Like in terms of dominant player.
I can't believe Giannis actually got hurt today. That's kind of crazy timing. Yeah, I mean, Jokic is like, we're still in the middle of his dominance. Like, he's gonna start entering. He already is entering like top 10 all-time territory. I mean, he's utterly ridiculous. He's still the best player in the NBA, I think. Like year in and year out, he's the best player. Like, if I had to take one person to be on my team, I'm taking him over SGA. I'm taking him over Luka. He's the best player in the league.
You need to go win a championship this season. It's Jokic over.
It's Nikola Jokic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. By the way,
I also think Giannis is up there. Like Giannis is top 5 at least in that.
Before we move on to a little football, the Thunder are currently plus 520 to have 74 plus regular season wins. Plus 520. Plus 800 to have 75 plus. Plus 1,200 to have 76 plus. And plus 2,200 to have 77 plus.
77 plus is insane.
Yeah, just lose 4 games.
But you know what's going to happen? Like, they're going to be on some historic pace. And then this, like, I feel like this always happens. They're going to have like 1 week or one stretch where they go like 6-4 or 5.
Well, I mean, it didn't happen to the
Warriors. Yeah.
Didn't happen to the Warriors. So you never know. I kind of want to see history.
Me too.
I want to see history. Let's go. All right. There's some history in college football, JM. College football has some history, bad history, as we look towards the college football playoff. Of course, there's going to be controversy. Of course, there is going to be teams and fans that are upset by the committee's decision. Very quickly on the college football front, before we get to the NFL, Notre Dame, Miami, massive debate. Miami beat them August 31st of this year, week 1 in Miami by 3 points. Miami hasn't played well the past few weeks, past few months, I should say. 2 bad losses, one to Louisville at home, one to SMU in overtime on the road. Notre Dame, since the first 2 weeks of the year, losing to Miami and Texas A&M, they're undefeated and they've been dominant. And Notre Dame right now has the upper hand over Miami. And I think in this scenario, I think the committee actually has it right. I think Notre Dame is playing better. I think currently Notre Dame is one of the 12 best teams in the country. And if the committee wants to do what they say they are going to do, which is put the 12 best teams in, how they have to do it, of course, with the rankings, I think Notre Dame has to be in.
So do I. And to be honest with you, like, all the outrage, I get it, and because you want to talk about head-to-head with Miami and Notre Dame, but honestly, I don't think it's particularly close. I think it's Notre Dame, like, pretty obviously. I understand that they beat them head-to-head. It was also week 1. I get it's a game, it counts, but it's also week 1. And you know, Notre Dame's one other loss was to Texas A&M in an absolute classic game, right? They had it down to the wire. That game could have gone either way, but they are playing absolutely dominant football. And when I look at the quality of opponents that they've lost to, in one being Miami, the other being Texas A&M, who are both top 12 teams, and then I look at Louisville and what was the other team that
SMU.
And SMU. And I understand that Notre Dame is independent. They're not even in a conference, but Miami's conference, we're not talking about an SEC team here. We know the ACC, these poor ACC teams, they're going to like Florida State, right? Like we've gone over this already. Yeah. But I look at the quality of their opponents. I mean, Miami to me should be 12-0, at the worst 11-1, with the conference that they're in, and the win against Notre Dame, you can't drop 2 games like that. So listen, I get it. Miami probably deserves to be in, but there's not enough spots, and we can't keep expanding the playoff. If I'm a Miami fan, instead of Notre Dame, I'm complaining more about why is Tulane or North Texas getting in, or Duke or Virginia. But it's Miami.
It's their fault.
Nobody to blame but themselves.
It's their fault. Sorry, I almost dropped my shaving cream that's on my desk. My desk is an absolute mess, and that would have made a really loud noise. They did it to themselves. You think we want to sit here and watch Duke and Virginia at 8:00 on Saturday?
No.
I mean, listen, nobody's going to be watching it because that's the same time as the Ohio State-Indiana game, but you did it to yourself. And Miami...
Well, that's actually when that game is. I thought you were wrong because I looked at the schedule the other day and I'm like, oh, wow, there's some really good games to watch. Wow, yeah, nobody is going to watch that game.
Nobody's going to watch that game. You're going to watch that game as a joke because if Duke gets in, if Duke wins the game, there's a chance that JMU actually gets in over Duke.
How's that?
Something with like the rating system.
Conference champions kind of?
Yes. There's a chance that JMU would get in over Duke if Duke wins the game. Duke's not going to win the game. I had Duke -3.5 a few weeks ago against Virginia in Duke, and they got blown out against Virginia. So they're not going to win this game.
That's what the spread is for Virginia now, only 3.5.
3.5. Yeah, take Virginia because Duke screwed me that day. But either way, it's nuts. It's a good debate. It's a fun debate, but they did it to themselves.
Right. Listen, there in all the arguments we've seen in college football over the years, like obviously a couple years ago when it was still the 14 playoff, the Florida State argument when the quarterback, was it Jordan Travis went down? When Jordan Travis went down, that was tough. I understood why people were frustrated. I remember that was a big thing. I think we had a clip that went viral about it. Yeah. They were the 5th team. They were the first team out. And they were like, what do we do wrong? Like, we went undefeated, and I get it. Like, I understood their frustration. But at the same time, I was like, we all know you're going to get killed without your quarterback. Like, nobody wants to see that. Let's give a team that actually has a shot to get in to get it. But this, to me, if we were talking 11-1 Miami, and they had just one loss to SMU, then I'd be like, or Louisville, one loss to one of those teams, I'd be like, all right, I could see the frustration. You dropped 2 games in your conference.
Well, if you were in the ACC championship game against Virginia, let's just say, and they lost to Virginia, I think you have a better argument in that case than you do here. You're going to get punished. Unfortunately, it's the way of the world right now. You're going to get punished for losing your conference championship game. If you were one of those fringe teams with 1 loss going in or 2 losses going in, you may get punished for that. Now, Alabama's not going to get punished if they lose to Georgia and become a 3-loss team. They're probably still going to get in, and they're going to get in over Miami, and they deserve to get in over Miami. But even if they lost that game to Virginia and they were in the ACC championship game, they have a better argument. But they did it to themselves. They don't even get a chance to play in this game. This is the one scenario where it actually hurts to not play in the game, right? Because Texas A&M's sitting pretty right now. Texas A&M has 1 loss. They're not in the game. They have to rest their guys. Are going to play week 1 college football playoff game. They're not even going to have a bye. Yeah. Like they made out like bandits here. Ole Miss makes out like bandits here.
Yeah. That's the other thing I was going to say is like, you're not even in you're in the week conference and you're not even in your week conference championship game.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to watch the game. Nobody.
Yeah.
Mess. I'm pumped to see your boy Fernando Mendoza though this week.
Not my boy.
Pumped to see your boy.
Never him as my boy.
Saying he looks great. Julian Saying's going to be the next big quarterback prospect.
He does.
He looks great. That's going to be your guy soon. That
would be nice. I would like if he could be my guy.
Mendoza's the man, though. I like Mendoza.
I gotta, to be honest with you, I gotta watch him more.
Yeah, so do I.
But to me, like, not to flip to the Jets or any whatever, just NFL draft talk, but I do right now. If you ask me, like, I want them to just wait. Like, if it's not Mendoza, who I think right now is the only guy who could maybe turn out to be a real good player, like, what are you're going to take Ty Simpson and skip out on like Arvell Reese or Caleb Downs or one of these like stud players? I'd rather wait.
Gonna wait. Gonna wait. Yeah, I want Caleb Downs or Arvell Reese. I want one of those guys. I need one of those guys on my team.
Yeah, I mean,
or Carnell Tate. Any one of them. I'm fine. I'm good.
Maybe you guys could look for an edge rusher this year. Might need one.
Really? You want to start? Already like this?
Probably one who could, leave his hands where we could see him in the team meeting.
Okay. You really want to do this right now? This is how you want to go into the NFL. You want to talk about the Giants? There's so many good teams out there.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to talk to.
You want to get an Abdul Carter missing meetings and having 1.5 sacks and celebrating a no-yard sack.
He's got to grow up.
He's got to grow up. I had a friend text me today. Do you think there's a chance they trade him for a late first-round pick or early second-round pick this offseason?
That's nuts.
And I said, absolutely not. But if they fire the GM this year and the same crap keeps happening next season, then yes. But right now, no. Because I'm not ready to say bust. Like there are some good qualities that he has on the football field. He's obviously the pressures. I know people don't want to hear it. He has them. QB hits. He has them. He's not getting to the quarterback quick enough. He still could be a very good player. I'm not completely out on him. Your mic's out again. I mean, the mic. I mean, we got to figure it out.
It's not. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's not the mic. It keeps telling me the server lost connection to your mic. I don't know. It happens all the time. I'm one of those people. I will listen to the pressures and the QB hits because sacks, as much as we love them, they are a little one of those like misleading stats, and they are a lot.
They are, JM, and I get that, and I understand he's affecting the game with the pressures and the QB hits, but there are so many times where he's right there to making a big play, and he doesn't get there, and then they make a big play.
Right. Well, listen, I'm not ready to go bust either. Well. Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad way to phrase that. All right, let me start that over again. I'm not ready to say he's a bust yet. Yeah, I mean, first of all, edge rushers is definitely one of those positions that we've seen that like receiver or quarterback, like sometimes these guys come in the league and they just burst onto the scene. Sometimes it takes them a little while to develop. Right, like a Aiden Hutchinson versus a Trevon Walker kind of a situation. Like it takes time sometimes. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna freak out that the guy only has 1.5 sacks. It's not what you want to see, especially when you're a top 3 pick. But we do know Carter is one of these guys where he's not just in a physical freak that's gonna come into the league and dominate right away. Like he's actually a little undersized for an edge rusher, but he's so athletic and he's so good with his technique that he makes up for it. So he's probably, just having some growing pains. He's playing on a terrible team. He has some sort of character issues he's got to work on, obviously, but I'm not ready to, say they should trade him for a late first yet.
Enough Giants. They're terrible. I want to talk about the Cowboys, JM. This is scary. They're really good. And they got a big game Thursday night against these Lions, and a win for them. I think it's like you're having the conversations about them possibly being a playoff team here. The NFC playoff picture is absolutely wild. It's packed, and they're getting themselves into this conversation, obviously. But a win in Detroit on Thursday night, I think that completely changes everything. I think not only does it change the conversation, they have 2 great wins. The Eagles, who are struggling right now, sure, coming back from 21-0. And then the Chiefs in your own building. That's another big win, but the Chiefs obviously have their issues as well. Now you have the Lions, who also sort of have their issues here. Haven't played well. Almost lost to the Giants. Lost to the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. Like, you have an opportunity here, if you're Dallas, to pick on a team that has their issues and make this a very interesting conversation in terms of the NFC playoff picture.
Yeah, 100%. They can make it really interesting. And they look good, man. Like, we said it earlier in the year. I was saying that this Eagles team, it's going to look like 2023 all over again, and they were going to start, they were going to win some games, but they were going to not look good, and it was going to start to crumble, and that's exactly what's going on right now. So we all know about that streak with the NFC East since 2004 that nobody has repeated as a division champion, and it seemed like this was going to be the year that finally broke that with the Eagles, and all of a sudden, here come the Cowboys, like a game and a half out now of first place in the NFC East. It's crazy. They look really good.
Cut out again. They don't get mad. I thought we were positive.
I'm very positive. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Anyways, the game itself too that we're about to watch, I'm very excited about. I really hope this Thursday night football game is what it should be, which is the over is 54.5. I hope that the number exceeds that. That would be fun to watch.
Do you have any money on that yet?
I do not yet. I have had some good luck with these primetime parlays lately, so maybe
I have 2 for 2. You saved me from a catastrophic night on Monday. I had so much pending on Monday night, and the only bet I hit was that one. So
don't tell me you took the Giants spread
and money line.
Oh, so you were just putting a fireplace up and throwing money in there.
I was a little fanboying. I really thought it was like one of those spots where they were just going to win the game.
Yeah. By the way, quick side note, because I was looking at the playoff picture.
Yep.
The Bears are currently the 1 seed in the NFC, right? And
yeah,
their current odds to make the playoffs are 72%. That's absurd. How are you the number 1 seed and you only have a 72% chance to make the playoffs?
We're going to get to the Bears in a second. I do want to do a who would you rather right now. Who's the better football team? The Dallas Cowboys or the teams I am going to say? Are you ready?
I am ready.
On the spot, okay? Who would you rather? Who's the better team? Cowboys or the Eagles?
The Cowboys. Pretty easily, actually. Like right now, like I don't care what the record is. For the last month, who's played better football and who's beaten the other team? The Cowboys.
The Cowboys or the Packers?
I'm going to go Green Bay. I'm not going to get crazy with how the Cowboys have been playing lately. They've been playing really well, but I like how Green Bay looked on Thanksgiving. I'm going to go with Green Bay.
The Cowboys or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
The Cowboys, and again, I don't think it's really close. The Bucs are they're fizzing out right now. I don't like the way they look. They're banged up. They got Bucky back, but I'm not loving that defense, and Baker kind of cooled off.
The Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers? It's a tough one.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys. The Niners, like, they're banged up on defense, but they've shown that hasn't really affected them. At the same time, we said the Niners have the easiest schedule in the NFL in the preseason, and it's held up. They've had a very easy schedule. Brock Purdy, I don't think really looks that great.
Cut out again. We are going to go here. No.
Hello.
Yeah. We're going to go Cowboys or the Seahawks.
Seahawks. Definitely the Seahawks.
Cowboys or the Rams.
Definitely the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams.
And the last one, the Cowboys or the Detroit Lions.
The Cowboys, and we'll see how it looks on Thursday night. They're going up against each other, but
actually, this is the last one that's going to segue us to our next point. The Cowboys or the Chicago Bears.
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that one because I really am not sure.
I was going to ask you that one.
The Cowboys or the Bears. Cowboys look good, man. I mean, that offense is really tough. Defense looks re-energized. Like, they look real good. And I'm just going to go with the quarterback that I trust more. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I trust Dak more than I trust Caleb Williams.
Interesting. Okay. There you go. You're all in on the boys. I mean, the only two teams you did not say they were better than, three teams, were the Packers, which I think is closer than you made it seem.
No, it is. It's close, but
I
I think Love's been playing really well. I like the defense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to the Packers.
And the other two, the only one I actually disagreed with was I'm pretty sure I would go with the Niners. I'm all in on the Niners. They're the better coach team. They're dealing with all these injuries. We know this. I think I'd go with the Niners slightly.
Must be nice to play in the NFC West, huh?
Yeah, that's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, but listen, I like the way I stacked it up. The way now I'm looking at it, I have the Cowboys as the fourth best team in the NFC. I think that's pretty good with the way they've been playing. So,
it's funny. I'm trying to find.
You know me, I'm a big Dak guy. Like I like Dak.
Yeah, you like Dak.
I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I think he gets way too much hate.
I don't think he's getting any more hate. I think he's back. I think he's here.
Yeah. Until they make the playoffs this year and then he drops the first round.
Well, it may not be his fault.
Then he'll get the hate.
I got to ask you this question. Big game this week. Bears in Green Bay. Do you know the spread on this game?
The Bears are in Green Bay.
Do you know the spread?
If you're asking me that, I imagine it's not just like, oh, Green Bay -2.5. It's
That was very flamboyant the way you just said that.
Oh, Green Bay -2.5.
Actually, look, you went like this, like Green Bay -2.5. You gotta go rewatch that. That was awesome. I am going to clip that.
All right, I'll say it very tough and masculine. Green Bay -2.5. I'm gonna go with. There's no way. I've seen some crazy rat lines in my life. If they have the Bears favorited, they're smoking crack. I'm going to go with the Packers -5.5.
The Packers are -6.5 as of yesterday. I'll check right now, though, for you. But they're 6.5 the last time I checked that in Green Bay. Clearly, Vegas does not believe in this Bears team. They also, if you look at the futures market, the Packers are -140 on most sites to win the division. Bears, respectable +150 here to win the division. This game is basically going to determine, I think, who's going to win this division and how you feel about those teams going forward. But a massive game, another scenario where the Bears feel, a little disrespected. And I think they feel this and know this. It's still 6.5. They know what's going on. They know what people are saying. And this has been a house of horrors for years, forever, really. And they have a chance to do something really cool. And I think Ben Johnson has them playing incredibly well. They believe in this guy, and we know he's an offensive genius. And I think in that room, he's more of that motivator. We saw it with his shirt off doing the good, better, best, good, better, best. I love it. I watched that video 20 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Any reason why?
Not because he took his shirt off.
It sounds like you watched it 20 times he took his shirt. Maybe 18 times he took his shirt off?
No, it was cool. It was maybe once or twice, but it was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, listen, this is crazy, man. The Bears schedule, they play the Packers weeks 14 and week 16. I mean, these next 3 weeks are going to determine probably who wins the North. And obviously, let's not count the Lions out, but the Lions definitely got an uphill battle in front of them to be able to pull this off at this point. Yeah, and listen, I understand the odds. It's the Bears not proving themselves yet. It's are they for real? And it's also this schedule that they got coming up. I just mentioned they play the Packers twice. They play the Browns, and then they play the Niners and the Lions. I mean, that's a tough schedule to end it. So we're gonna find out what the Bears are made of really here. It's going to be really fun to watch. I love the way Ben Johnson has them playing. The way they ran the ball down the Eagles' throat in Philly was great. It was crazy to watch. The story of that game is kind of how bad the Eagles' offense looked, but the way the Bears were able to dictate that game on the ground was phenomenal. 2 running backs running for 100 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really see that.
Yep.
And that's what Ben Johnson's offense is. Like, everybody thinks it's, he's a great coordinator. He comes up with these, cool trick plays and, we know about the play action game and everything like that. But Ben Johnson's running game or Ben Johnson's offense is built off of the running game. And you know, where do you think Sonic and Knuckles came from with Gibbs and Montgomery? I mean, that was their identity. So it's going to be fun to watch. I do get the line, though. I don't know if the Packers have the ability to do that to any other team but the Bears, to be honest with you. Like, they don't have blowout in them except with the Bears. That would make sense because they do.
I don't get the line. And I'm going to tell you why I don't get the line. Okay? The Bears were 7-point underdogs in Philadelphia. Okay? They go to Philadelphia, they run all over them, and they embarrass them in Philadelphia's home stadium, right? They kill Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia, who has all the issues they're dealing with, they're 2.5-point favorites on the road in LA. Now, obviously, not a massive home field advantage, no home field advantage for the Chargers, basically. Probably be 40% Eagle fans in the building. But either way, you have the Eagles going on the road, cross country, 2.5-point favorites. They just got the crap kicked out of them by this Bears team, who now go to a division opponent. Yes, the history tells you Packers wiped the floor with them, but the Packers also have issues with their run defense. So, and I understand it's a rat line. I understand every Joe Schmo is going to be on the Bears this week, and I don't want to be on the Bears this week. But like, I just saw what they did to this Eagles team. What's stopping the Bears this week from running all over this team?
It's Vegas. It's Vegas being stubborn. It's Vegas saying, "Okay, show
Vegas
it to me again."
Take Vegas out of it. Why?
Right.
From a football perspective, why? The one of the weaknesses of this Packer team is their run defense.
I mean,
I got Micah arguing with Colin Cowherd 3 weeks ago after they shut down Saquon Barkley, saying, "Oh, what about the run defense now?" Shut up, Micah.
Right.
You're non-existent in the run game in Dallas.
Right. Well, listen, I get it from a football perspective. That being said, I think the Packers will be able to put more pressure on the Bears to throw the ball, to get more creative with that offense. The Bears got cut a lot of breaks last week. They really did. There were plenty of moments in that game where if the Eagles had a competent offense, it could have turned ugly for the Bears quick, and they weren't going to be able to just dominate the time of possession and dictate the game the way they wanted to. Like, the Packers, especially with Christian Watson being back, he's been he's looked the best I've seen him in his career ever since he's been back this year. He looks phenomenal. Love has been playing really good. He's been taking care of the football. There was this weird stigma around him which rightfully so, he was turning the ball over a little too much in the first half of last year.
He was
but
playing like crap earlier.
Yeah, he's been playing really good, protecting the football, playing some of the best football of his career this year. So I think the offense of the Packers is going to put more pressure on the Bears offense. I think that defense is going to struggle a little bit for the Bears. And I think they're going to have to rely on Caleb a little more. That being said, is he going to be able to do that against this Green Bay pass rush and pass defense? I think that's where I like the Packers to win the game. I think the Bears deserve their respect. And maybe in Soldier Field we'll have a different conversation. But they're not a 9-3 team in my eyes. And they're not a 10-3 team beating your division rival in their home stadium in my eyes.
So you think the Packers are going to win this division? Like, you're very confident.
I think the Packers are going to win the division.
Winning the division. And obviously the Lions have no chance. The Lions are done.
Yeah.
Lions are done. Packers. But do you think the Bears are a playoff team, somewhat respectable, and the future is bright?
Yes. I mean, listen, I'm looking at the Bears schedule here. Like, 1 point win against Vegas, 1 point win against the Commanders. They beat New Orleans by 2 touchdowns, got killed by the Ravens, won that crazy game against the Bengals that they easily could have dropped.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. They won. It doesn't matter. Beat the Giants in a game that they were down most of the game.
Yep.
Beat the Vikings by 2 points. Beat the Steelers by 3. This Eagles win was the first statement win they had, really. And the Eagles are playing like they scored 16 less points than the New York Jets did in the month of November. Like, they're playing like crap. So, yeah, to me, like, these things even themselves out. I think team records kind of even themselves out. I don't see the Bears being a number 1 seed in the NFC. I don't see them being good enough to win this division. I think they're actually in for a rude awakening in Green Bay. I think
so you're going to be on the Packers.
The more I think about this, I'm going to be on that Packers 6.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I want to talk about one more thing in the NFL, maybe two more things in the NFL. Two more things in the NFL. First, can I tell you who I placed a bet on to win the AFC Monday night?
Is if it's not the Patriots or hold on, let me go into the mind of Michael Merlo. Let me think. What is Michael Merlo he does some crazy things. He's not picking the New England Patriots because that's too easy.
Yep, that's not Patriots.
I'm gonna pull up the AFC playoff picture here real quick.
Okay.
I'm taking a look. I'm gonna say that
I don't know if that's gonna help.
I'm gonna say that Michael Merlo put a bet on the Houston Texans to win the AFC.
Look, you know me well. You know me really well.
I do.
Texans to win the AFC. It starts this week in Kansas City. Must win for both. That Texans defense is unbelievable. You know why? Because
they have a championship defense, that's for sure.
They don't need. And listen, I'd feel so much better about this if they had a better offensive line and they had a better running game, but they just don't have that right now. And the future is incredibly bright over there. And I was wrong early in the year. I was completely out on them. Thought they were going to have to find a new quarterback. I thought they were going to have to possibly find a new coach. I mean, I was completely out on them after like 2 or 3 weeks this year. But they don't need CJ to be Superman because of how good that defense is. And I'm obsessed with Will Anderson. I'm obsessed with Derek Stingley. Like, this team is so freaking good defensively with no clear favorite in the AFC. I think I'm all in. And I'll give you like the realistic team who like I think is most likely going to win the AFC.
Listen, the AFC, if it's ever been wide open, it's wide open this year. I know the Patriots are 11-2, but also look at that schedule, right?
I saw these memes the other day. It was like this was actually yesterday. It was just the top 10 like draft picks this year, like who's lined up right now to have the selections. And somebody goes, "Oh, look, it's the Patriots schedule."
Yeah, that's literally what it's insane. And I remember seeing the graphic like weeks ago. It was like upcoming schedule: Dolphins, Jets, Saints, Browns. I'm like, holy crap! Does this team play anybody? It would be it would be really cool to see like a 5 versus 6 seed Super Bowl this year. And I feel like if there was ever a time that could happen, it would be this year. That being said, I wanted to talk about the AFC South anyways, and we're on the topic of the Texans. Like, at this very moment, pulling for the Jags because I have a future in with them parlay with the Rams to win their divisions. Am I confident that that's going to happen? Absolutely not. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I think the Jags are more likely to come in third than win that division.
Yeah.
But listen, the Colts, as a Jets fan, very happy right now. Their first round pick keeps going up and up the draft board. They've got issues. Daniel Jones, he's been banged up. The offense is not really clicking right now. Their schedule is real tough to end the year also. It's been real tough since their bye. I do think this is kind of the Texans to lose. I know it's crazy to say because they're the one that's not tied for the lead like the Texans and the Jags are, but I mean like the Colts and the Jags are, but they look like the best team to me. The Jags are gonna, I mean, it's like inevitable. They feel like a ticking time bomb. I really just can't see them sustaining this.
They're gonna find a way to
exactly. They're gonna find a way to screw this up. So I really do think it's the Texans to lose. And if they win this weekend, I mean, I would wrap it up. I really would. I mean, they've got to still execute, but the way that these chips are going to fall, I think if they could take care of Kansas City, that this is their division.
They're probably going to take care of Houston. I think they play Jacksonville the week after Houston does.
Yeah, there you go.
I think they win that game. I think it's in Jacksonville, but I really don't care about that. If they're able to win this week,
Jacksonville.
What?
Jacksonville.
Yes, tough place.
You don't want to play in Jacksonville, especially in December when it's sunny outside and everywhere else is cold.
The Colts are going to miss the playoffs, right? Like they're going to miss the playoffs.
I would love that. It kind of feels that way right now. Mike, listen to the Texans schedule. If they take care of Kansas City, they go home against Arizona, home against Vegas. At that point, if you beat Kansas City, you're 10-5 going into week 17 because those two games should be auto wins for them.
Right.
You go into LA Chargers, tough game. They'll be playing for something at that point too, whether it's the division, wild card, whatever it is.
It's a good game.
And then home against Indy. That'll be, obviously a very important game, week 18, huge game. The Jags, fortunate for them, they'll have, if they're still playing for the division, they'll have the Titans week 18. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that if the Texans could take care of Kansas City, they should be 10-5, which were they 3-5 or 4-5? That's at least a 6-game winning streak that they'll be on.
Right. I completely forgot the Texans played the Jags twice already. And they're 1-1.
Oh, when we were talking about their schedule before. Yeah.
Jacksonville, did you pull up Jacksonville's schedule? Because they have the game against Indy this week, then the Jets, then at Denver, at Indy again, then, like you mentioned, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's tough. No, I actually have the Colts schedule in front of me, though.
Okay. So
Colts are at Jacksonville this weekend. So it's a huge weekend for the AFC South.
Yes.
At Jacksonville, then they're in Seattle, West Coast trip.
That is a 14-point loss.
Yeah. Bad loss in Seattle. Then they come home Monday Night Football to play the Niners.
That could be a loss. I'm all in on the Niners. That could be a loss too.
Then they're home to play Jacksonville, and then they finish the season in Houston. Reading those schedules, confidence level to win the division, regardless of records, because they're all pretty close. So just confidence level to win the division. I would say it's Houston, Jacksonville, Indy. I'd put Indy last. That schedule is brutal.
Hold on, I'm trying to get a look ahead line. Trying to
get what?
Colts, Seahawks right now is only 3.5 points favorites. Wow. I would slam
in Seattle.
I would slam Seattle. Slam them.
Yeah.
I think if it's not Houston, which like obviously is like a pipe dream to win the AFC, right? Like that's tough. I'll give you the team. Like if I got to pick out of all these teams, the team for me would be the Broncos. I don't want to play Denver in Denver late in the postseason. They're most likely going to have the home field advantage. I don't want to play that defense. I don't want to play that pass rush. They're great late in these games, just like Kansas City was last season. Not as dominant. Kansas City was not this dominant team last year, but they were great in late game situations because they have that experienced head coach, and he's just rubbing off on his quarterback and Bo Nix, and he makes big plays late in games as well. Listen, if there's a team that you have to feel confident in the AFC, it's not Kansas City, it's not Buffalo, it's not Baltimore, it's not New England. And if you don't want to take any of these AFC South teams, fine. It is the Denver freaking Broncos.
Yeah. You make a good case for them. You're going to hate it, but it's still Buffalo to me. Like, if they're in, you got the best quarterback in the playoffs. I wouldn't want to play them. I mean,
if you're Buffalo, right? Like, you came into the year, obviously, as the favorites to win the Super Bowl or win the AFC. How are you not kicking yourself right now that you didn't do more this offseason? Because right now would be their greatest chance in the Josh Allen era to get to the Super Bowl and win one with Mahomes and KC down. It looks like a down year, and it could be a down year next year. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with Kansas City this offseason? But you must be kicking yourself knowing that this is your best chance, and you obviously still have a chance, but I think they have way too many flaws here. As great as Allen is.
They do, yeah. They do. So that's the thing with me, though. They have a ton of flaws, but, is Denver real? Like, when Denver gets to the playoffs and they play Buffalo, who has been through tons of playoff games through every level besides the Super Bowl, are they going to show up? Is Bo Nix going to be able to step up? That defense is great, but you're playing Josh Allen. Like the Bills are going to probably be able to put up some points. I don't think this is a Denver Broncos of 2015 scenario where you have like the greatest defense we've ever freaking seen. And, who cares what your quarterback does?
It's a great defense, though.
But the offense, like even that Denver team, they still had elite receivers, right? Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, the running backs, C.J. Anderson. I don't remember if No. Sean Marino was on that team or not, or if it was Ronnie Hillman. And Ronnie Hillman was on the team. Whatever. They just had decent backs, but like elite receiver. Like the Broncos, who is their best offensive weapon? Cortland Sutton? Like,
no, it's not. It's not what you want.
They don't like they really don't have anybody on offense that you really fear. So to me, the defense is great, but I don't know if the defense is going to be able to get you to the Super Bowl. So, we're not even talking about New England. They're obviously a team that's going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially if they have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Then again, the only real test that they've had has been Tampa, who's fallen off a cliff here, and Buffalo, who hasn't looked great. We'll see.
I have to say about New England before we get out of here, I understand it was the Giants. I understand they've played nobody. They were violent the other night.
Yeah.
Violent. Like they showed a different side that I don't think we've seen, where if it was one of the big boys that they were playing, I still think they win that game.
Yeah.
And May's great. And Vrabel could coach the shit out of a team. And McDaniels, I mean, he's not a head coach, but he's certainly an offensive coordinator. He certainly works. He's certainly really good at that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We'll see what happens. I'm pumped.
Gun to your head right now. What's the Super Bowl?
Rams, Broncos.
Okay. I'm going Ram. Like, I don't feel confident when I say the Bills.
You shouldn't. They have way too many holes. I'm the biggest Bill guy in the world, and you're sitting here. You're on the Bills here. I can't believe it. How about the Ravens?
Kansas City, it's still Kansas City. Like, I'll learn my lesson when they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Okay.
I hate to say this. I'm gonna go Rams Patriots.
Okay.
I think the way it could stack up for New England is they could end up not having to play Buffalo. If Buffalo drops one of these games early.
Right.
And they've proven they can beat Buffalo head to head. But, I could see, I don't think it's possible with the way the playoffs would stack up, but if I could see the Patriots and the Bills being, AFC championship matchup kind of a thing. Again, I don't know if that's even possible mathematically with the seeding, but those are the two teams I feel. I'd put a bet in for the AFC champion to come out of the East.
Okay. Look at you. Lock it in.
Yep.
Lock in. That's a winner.
Winner.
It's a winner.
And what's not a winner, and I'm going to keep doubting it, even though it's my own bet, is Jaguars, Rams parlayed together division champs.
That ain't happening.
That
is not happening. We're going to get out of here. Long one today. Appreciate you listening if you stuck with us. Talk to you guys next time. Hopefully, but next time we come on here, the Mets have signed Kyle Schwarber and Cody Bellinger. We will see you next time.